Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would try some adult crafts from Good Housekeeping. Yep, they have an article for 19 crafts just for us adults, specifically for us, no kids allowed. And I'm going to be making them and deciding whether I actually think they're for adults or not. I'm not going to be making all 19 though because I don't have all day, so I have selected a few, but I'm going to be going through all of them and telling you whether I think they're for adults or not. So let's get started. Okay, so jumping into the first adult craft idea that they have on their list, and it's one I'm actually not even going to be trying, but it's a paper chain wall hanging. And for me personally, do I think this is an adult craft idea? No, I don't think it's an adult craft idea. I think this is a kid's craft idea. You lied to us, Good Housekeeping, you lied. We're off to a terrible start. The second one they have on the list is one I'm actually going to be trying, and it's colourful coupe. I think it's called coupe, it could be coupe. Cocktail glasses. And I've already read the instructions, so I know what I'm doing. Okay, so I've got a couple of lovely cocktail glasses here. And also some permanent stick-on coloured vinyl. And basically you just cut these out into little shapes and stick them on the glasses. That's what I read anyway. So a very easy craft project, I will say that. Is it an adult one? I'll tell you later. I want colours, 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 colours. This pack gave us some proper boring colours. Like, how dull are these? You haven't even given us like a magenta or anything. Rude. I want my money back. It'll have to do. I've never used this stuff before, so hopefully this is gonna go okay. It should do. It seems like a very, very easy thing to do. Just a lot of cutting and sticking. Okay, that's all them cut, and now it's just time to stick. I don't know whether I'm doing this right. They don't seem to stick on very well. Do I need something else? No, it says permanent adhesive vinyl and some glasses. I've done exactly that. Maybe their vinyl's a bit better than mine. This isn't good at all, because as soon as you wash this, it's just all gonna fall off. Ah well, I'm just gonna continue doing it, and we just won't look close at them. Okay, so there we have it, 2 cocktail glasses with stuff stuck on them. And I've definitely had issues with the vinyl. The vinyl doesn't stick well at all to these glasses. I don't know whether I've bought the wrong stuff or not, because theirs looked fine in their picture. Alternatively, you could just paint the shapes on. I think that would be an easier, more permanent, long-lasting idea, with maybe some glass paint, but meh, I've done it now. But would I say it's an adult craft project? Yes, I think it is an adult craft project. I can't imagine kids wanting to make colourful cocktail glasses because they're not allowed to drink alcohol. They're not allowed cocktails. Only us adults are allowed them. Okay, so the next adult craft idea that Good Housekeeping has recommended is DIY lavender soap. And this is one I am again going to be trying. So first I just took a goat's milk based soap base and cut that up into chunks and popped that into a pan. I then put the pan of soap onto the stove and let it melt, and I should have really cut the soap chunks smaller so it would have taken less time to melt. It took a very long time, it took ages. So that's a little tip for you if you're going to do this, make sure to cut your chunks smaller. So when the soap was melted, I decided to add some dried lavender, and I managed to take the pan off the stove just before it was about to spill over. I'm very happy. I didn't want to clean up the mess. So I added even more dry lavender because you just can't have enough lavender, and mixed that in too. I also took some lavender essential oil and added a generous helping of that into the mix and gave that a good stir. And by the way, these are the instructions that they gave us. I'm not just making this up. This is what they told me to do. I just might have gone a little bit extreme with the lavender. I then took my soap bar mold and haphazardly poured this liquid mixture into the mold and just managed to spill it everywhere. But once that was done, I just left it to set. So now I have my lovely lavender soaps ready to take out the mold, and looking at their picture now, I definitely added way too much lavender. I don't think I was supposed to add that much. They did give me measurements, but I ignored them. But I really wanted the lavender to come through. So let's have a look at them. I knew this was going to happen. The lavenders kind of floated to the top and sank to the bottom, and then you've just got like nothing in the middle. They don't show the side of their soap. This is what the reality is. To be fair, I thought it was all going to float to the top and I wasn't going to have any on the bottom, so I am quite pleased that it's kind of dispersed. Anyway, I'm not here to criticise the crafts. I'm here to judge them whether they're adult themed or not. They really smell like lavender though. Oh, they do smell nice. I don't mind the smell of lavender actually. I know some people think it's like an old grandma smell, but I quite like it. Okay, so I've got 4 lovely bars of lavender soap and just a little tiny one that I used the leftovers for. And they're not too bad. I'm not going to tie a little bit of ribbon and a little bit of lavender to it like they did in their picture because I just can't be arsed. Now, would I say these lavender soaps are adult craft ideas? Yes, I would. I can't imagine any child wanting to make a lavender scented soap. If there are children out there who want to make this, you're a different kind of child than I was. I'll be washing my hands all year with this stuff. It'll be great, I'll smell lovely. So the next craft idea that Good Housekeeping thought us adults would enjoy is graphic string art. Now this is one I'm not going to be doing because I've done it before, and you can see that video in this corner here, and it's a pain in the ass to do. Like, you have to have so much patience for it. So is it an adult's craft idea? 100% yes, it definitely is, because I can't imagine a child just spending that long doing it. But yeah, definitely an adult craft idea. Okay, the next craft idea is balloon garland. And this is what I'm going to be making, and I haven't done it yet, and I have a feeling it's going to take us absolutely ages. And I haven't had my lunch yet, and it's getting to lunchtime, so I'm debating whether to make it now or to have my lunch first. I'll start it, and then if I get hungry, I'll have my lunch. Okay, so I bought this little balloon garland kit off Amazon, and they did recommend to buy a balloon pump in their little article, but I didn't do that, and I'm regretting it now because I'm gonna have to blow all these up with my mouth. There's a lot of balloons. Oh my god, this is gonna take us forever. What was I thinking? It didn't come with any instructions. So it says, simply inflate your balloons and slip the knots into the holes on the decorating strip. I'll try one. We'll see how this goes. I don't know what the hell that's for then. Alright, let me just see how this is supposed to go. Oh yeah, that works fine. So, I'm just gonna spend the next however many hours blowing up all of these balloons. Some of them are ginormous as well. Oh my god, I'm so lightheaded. You have no idea. Oh, what was I thinking? This is such a mistake. Well, I'm gonna have my lunch because this is gonna take me ages. And I think I'm gonna do the rest of it off camera. Because otherwise I'm just never gonna have space on my memory cards. And the constant threat of a balloon popping in my face is just terrifying. Why did I decide to do this for? Hopefully it'll be worth it. We'll see. Okay, I'm finally done. And I've had my lunch and everything. And I can't even explain how knackered I am. And I didn't even finish blowing all the balloons up either. I've got a good handful left and I just couldn't do it anymore. My lungs couldn't take it. I'm also not gonna hang it up because I don't have space for it. It is absolutely huge. But I'm gonna lift it up and I'm gonna push the camera back and zoom you out so I can get a nice wide shot and you can see what this garland looks like. I don't even think this is fitting in frame. It's huge, it's ridiculous. I'm kind of into it. If I had a bigger studio, I would hang this up and really enjoy it. But this is what it looks like. Now, do I think this is an adult craft project? I think their image and the one they've done, no, I don't think it's an adult craft project. However, the one I made, because of the colour scheme and whatnot, I do think it's an adult craft project. I think it would look quite nice for like a New Year's Eve party or a wedding reception or something like that. One thing I will say though, if you're going to do a balloon garland, please invest in a balloon pump. The tying it onto the bit of string thing was fine, but blowing them up with your own mouth and your own lung capacity, it was just too much. It was far too much. I nearly died. Right, so the the next adult craft project is a DIY hanging shelf, and I think this looks relatively easy to make and less time consuming, which is just fab. I'm so happy about that. Right, so I've just got this old little bit of wood here that I found in the studio, and I'm just going to use this one, and I just need to drill 4 holes on either side. And that's right, I'm not going to measure it because I can't be arsed. Considering I didn't measure that, I think I've done it quite accurately. That is shocking. It's a first. Okay, and I've got some macrame string. I think this is what you call it. I have no idea how they've made their knot at the top, and they could probably tell us how they've made their knot at the top, and I probably still wouldn't make it correctly, so I'm not going to bother. Okay, so I've got my 4 bits of rope cut. Just want to thread it through each side here and tie it into a knot at the bottom so it doesn't slip through. Right, lovely. How far do I think about there? I think that'll be good. I'm just going to tie it into a knot. I don't think it really matters. Obviously, if you want the full instructions on how to do these crafts correctly, then just go to Good Housekeeping. You're in the wrong place. But I will show you the easiest and fastest way. It just might not always be the correct way. Should I cut that bit off or shall I leave it? I kind of like it just ragged. And then the little bits at the end as well. Hey, I've done an alright job. It's actually quite level. I'm surprised. I don't think that's too bad. I quite like it actually. I was gonna slag this off, but I'm happy with it. It might be because I've just come from doing that balloon arch, but still, you know, take what you want from that. But would I say this little hanging shelf is an adult craft project? Yes, I definitely would. I don't think a child would get any satisfaction from making something like this or have any interest in making something like this. That's a thumbs up from me. Good job, Good Housekeeping. Okay, so the next one is a floral butterfly frame, and this is one I'm not going to be making because I've already made my mind up. Do I think it's an adult craft project? No, I don't. I think this is definitely suited for children. But the next one I am going to be making, and it's the DIY circle mirror. So to start off, I just used this circular piece of MDF that I bought online, and then stuck a fake plastic mirror on top of this MDF. And again, no, I didn't measure it, I just guessed, which is a running theme when it comes to me and my craft projects. I hate measuring, but I think I got it quite centered. You can also see me in the reflection, and yes, I haven't done my hair, and this is just before I was going to work, so I look a little bit rough. So don't judge, okay? Now this part I made a tiny bit of a mistake with. So I measured these pieces of rope around the mirror to get it obviously halfway around the MDF and cut that to size, but then I decided to cut all the other ones to exactly the same length as the one that I'd measured beforehand, which is wrong. I shouldn't have done it that way, and you'll find out why a little bit later on. But anyway, I just persevered and took some wool. Unfortunately, I hadn't stored my wool very well, so I had to unknot all of that first. But once I'd finally untangled my yarn, it was just time to tie it to one side of the rope and continuously wrap the yarn around the rope. It sounds ridiculous, it takes forever, absolutely stupid idea, but that's what Good Housekeeping told us to do. So after a lot of time had passed, I ended up with something that looked like this. I then repeated that with 2 bits of the other rope with 2 different coloured yarns. So I have 3 bits of rope with the yarn wrapped around it and 1 bit of rope just plain. And all I need to do now is just hot glue it around the side of the mirror. And the first one went down really well. Pretty pleased with it. And this is where the problem happened, because obviously there's a longer distance. The further you go around it, you need to cut the rope a little bit longer, and I didn't think of that. So then I ended up with a shorter one over the top, and this just continued. And not only did it just continue, it got worse. But I carried on because I didn't have a plan B, I didn't have any other options, it was just gonna have to do. It took me ages to get to this step. And there we go, that's what I ended up with, and I was very disappointed with my abilities and my thinking. And yeah, obviously if I was to do this again, I would do the yarn thing completely the right way and not the wrong way. It was just me not thinking again. It was just me diving headfirst into something with very little thought. But there we go, I did it, I made it. It is what it is. We're not going to talk about it again. Now, would I call it an adult craft project? Yes, I definitely would. I don't think kids would have any interest in it, and I don't think kids would have the patience for it, quite frankly. It took so long to do. I think it took me about 2 hours to make that. 2 hours. Quite shocking, really. Okay, these next 5 we're going to speed straight through because I have no intention of making them for various reasons. So number 9 is a nest and desk organizer. Is this an adult craft project? I would say yes, it's an adult craft project. Number 10 is a wrapped vase with florals. Is this an adult craft project? Yeah, I would say it is an adult craft project. Number 11 is a no-sew rag quilt. Now, is this one an adult craft project? And again, yeah, I would say it is an adult craft project. Now, number 12 is paper pennants. I assume pennants is another word for bunting. And would I say this one is an adult craft project? No. I don't think it's an adult craft project. I think it's much more catered towards kids. Number 13 is paper poppies. Is this an adult craft project? I'm going to have to disagree. I'm going to have to say no. I think this one's for kids as well. The next one I am actually going to be making, and it's pom-pom paper clips. And if you know me well enough, I think you already know whether I think this is an adult craft project or not. But if you don't know me very well, you'll just have to wait and see, won't you? Okay, so I've got a chunky, large paper clip here and some wool yarn, whatever you call it. Now, they recommended to make my pom-pom with a pom-pom maker, but I prefer to make them with my fingers. Right, so just cut a little bit off first and then wrap a little bit around your finger. Again, I don't want too much. And wrap a second colour around your finger. Again, not too much. And then a third colour around your fingers again. Slide that off. I don't know how good this pom-pom's going to be. I don't think I've made a pom-pom this small in my entire life. Tie that like that. And the trick is to try and keep it as tight as you possibly can. You don't want a loose, crappy pom-pom. I suppose as well, if it's too big, I can just trim it down, can't I? And then go through these gaps and just cut them open. Okay, and then just trim all of this down, because this is huge. And there we go, a little tiny, tiny pom-pom. How cute is that? Right, just tie it to the top of this paper clip and chop the excess off. And voila, a pom-pom paper clip. The thing is, I was going to slag this off, but it's like super cute. It's really adorable. However, would I say this is an adult craft project? No, I definitely wouldn't. I think this is way more catered towards children. I'd be shocked if anyone disagreed with us and thought this was an adult craft project. I really would. 100% for kids. Okay, so the next craft project Good Housekeeping has for us is a gold crown. And it even says, whether you're a bride or no one, or you're celebrating New Year's Eve or Coachella, DIY an incredible golden crown to complete your look. This floral crown project includes gold foil stars for a simple yet stunning vibe. I can't wait to feel stunning. Now, if you click on their instructions, it takes you to a different site telling you how to make this floral crown. And it is the most ridiculous way to make a floral crown I've ever known in my life. It would take so long to make, and it would just look crap if I did it the way that they did it. So I've done it a different way. I've cut a lot of corners and I've just made it a million times easier for myself. So instead of putting any effort in at all, I decided to buy a floral crown already made off Amazon. And I think this just looks absolutely lovely. It looks delightful. I think it'll definitely complete my look. However, it's not gold. So the trick to it is just spray paint it gold. So easy. I haven't had to make anything, just paint something that's already been made, that I've already bought. And I would have spray painted this outside, but it was of course raining. It has been raining forever. I'm sick of the rain. It doesn't stop, it never stops. It's actually not raining today, so it's making us eat my words. But usually 9 out of 10 times in the UK, it is raining. It's getting ridiculous. I'm sick of it. Who do I complain to? But anyway, once that was finished being spray painted, I just let that dry. And here we have it. I've finished my look, and I think I look stunning. I think I look absolutely gorgeous. I am ready for Coachella.
Oh my god, this is so much song. I'm so wasted.
This is what happens when I've been recording for too long.
Yeah, this is my song.
Anyway, I'm done. Now, would I say this is an adult craft project? I personally think it's 50-50. However, if I had to pick, I would say yes, it's an adult craft project, if you really want to make something like this. Okay, and the final 4 craft projects that Good Housekeeping are going to recommend to us as an adult craft project, I don't have any intention on making them, but I am going to say whether I think they're adult craft projects or not. So number 16 is simple yarn garlands, and I'm just going to say no, I don't think it's an adult craft project. Number 17 is a DIY yarn fringed throw pillow, and yeah, I'm going to say that that is an adult craft project. Number 18 is an embroidered denim jacket. Yeah, I'm gonna say it is an adult craft project. And to finish things off, number 19 is glitter stationery. No, I don't think it is. I think it's 100% for kids. So that just about does it for me trying Good Housekeeping adult craft ideas, or at least some of them. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know if you agree or disagree with the decisions I've made on these craft projects. You're more than welcome to disagree with us. If you disagree on the pom-pom paperclip, I don't know what'll happen, but we will argue. We'll have an argument in the comment section. But I'm done. I'm knackered. I've been recording all day. I'll see you next week for a brand new video. Bye. I'm not mad at this crown actually, you know. I don't want to admit it, but I do think it finishes my look.